Joyful reunion in Pietermaritzburg today. This after a teenager who'd been kidnapped for almost 2 weeks was found alive and returned to his family. The Hawks and private security companies located 17-year-old Mateen Khalid at a house on the KZN south coast. His abductors allegedly demanded more than 11 million rand for his release. 7 people, including a police officer, have since been arrested. Our senior reporter, Dasen Thathiah, joins us now. Dasen, it's great to have a good news story. Let's say it. You know that this teen was returned home. I saw your earlier interviews with the family that. Ransom, they say, was not paid, and it seems that this is the work of police and private security working together. Just if you could just start by telling us about this moment of joyful reunion, because you were there.
It was absolutely incredible to see. As you rightfully said, you know, it's not often that we talk about these good news stories, and generally when you have these types of cases, you find that as time progresses, hope starts to fade a little bit, and you start to wonder, where is this person? Where are they? Are they safe? Are they being taken care of wherever their abductors are keeping them? But fortunately, in this particular instance, we were told that the victim, Mateen Khalid, is completely fine. He was not harmed at all during the ordeal, and almost 2 weeks. That's an extremely long time. So you can imagine the family was waiting and hoping that he comes back to them as soon as possible. They were all outside the home today, and they were waiting as detectives brought him through after first stopping at the police station. So Umzinto is some distance away from Pietermaritzburg. That's where his home is. Umzinto is on the KZN south coast. So that was more than an hour's worth of travel before he got back to Pietermaritzburg and the police station. But the family is saying that, look, they're not sure why. They are just happy that he is back. There was some communication with the kidnappers after that kidnapping when he was taken on the 24th of May, just after school. He's a grade 12 pupil. When he was taken at that time, allegedly by 3 men who were posing as police officers, it was on that day or shortly after that that these abductors contacted them and said, look, they want more than 11 million rand. But while we were there, we had a brief chat with his brother. Let's listen to what he had to say to us.
I think it was just crime and kidnapping, you know, the normal kidnapping that takes place. And yeah, I think it was just crime and people asking for ransom and everything. Yeah, it was a normal kidnapping that happened. Thankfully to obviously Colonel Maestri and his team, we didn't have to pay anything, and yeah, we got the boy home safe, sound.
What were they saying to you as the family during this time? I mean, surely they would have been saying that they wanted money and how much they wanted and maybe why. Was anyone communicating with the family?
Yeah, my mom was communicating with obviously the kidnappers, because the kidnappers were phoning my mom. And they wanted obviously ransom money, and yeah, that's it.
Was that about 11 million they were asking?
11.5 million they were asking for.
And were they communicating on a cell phone?
Yeah, on a cell phone, on a WhatsApp call, number from Malta. Yeah, international number they were calling from.
I mean, it's just, those scenes are just so emotional. You know, one can only, as a parent, as I know you are as well, just imagine the horror of those 2 weeks for that family and the sense of incredible joy and relief. I mean, it's a happy ending, but we also see 7 arrests, including a police officer. This is the work, and we're seeing this increasingly with kidnappings, private security and the police working together. Did you get a sense of how they managed to crack the case?
Well, that's certainly it. There was a lot of coordination and a lot of teamwork with these various entities, because it was the Hawks in Durban and Pietermaritzburg. There were private security companies that were working on it. Even the special task force had come in at some point. And I just want to clarify this point on the arrests, because there were so many different incidents that were taking place. So last week, Thursday, there were 3 people that were taken in by police. They confronted them at a mall. These people were thought to be linked to the kidnapping, and of them, one of them was a police officer, the other was a municipal traffic officer from Pietermaritzburg, and the other one was a civilian. And then today, there were 2 people that were arrested in Pietermaritzburg, and there were 3 others that were arrested at the home in Umzinto. That's where the boy was found. But police have since told us, we spoke to the Hawks later this afternoon, they said that of those 8 in total, it was the police officer that was released for now. But remember, the investigations are still ongoing. There are other arrests that need to be carried out as well, including the kingpin. So even that may change. So let's listen now to what the Hawks had to say to us in KwaZulu-Natal about this investigation. Obviously, the big question is why this happened.
The suspect, after fleeing the scene with the victim, later on a call was received by the family where the suspect were demanding an amount of 11.5 million. We still don't know at this stage what could be the motive behind this kidnapping. However, as the Hawks, we are working in this case. We have roped in all our counterparts, like our digital forensic investigation is on board. They are busy analyzing the gadget and other evidence that can assist in this investigation. At this stage, we haven't determined what was the motive, but I can assure the South Africans and the people at large that we are working and we will leave no stone unturned to find out what was really the motive. And we will ensure that the Hawks are presenting the well-investigated docket before the magistrate.
So this issue of motive, I've just got to probe a little deeper, because obviously there was a financial motive, to get money from this family. To your knowledge, is this a particularly wealthy family? I think the reason I'm asking this is because we tend to assume that it's wealthy business people or their family members who tend to get targeted. If this isn't a family of great means, then it suggests potentially that kidnappers are targeting anyone who they think might be able to access money somehow.
I think there's always an intention, and that's what we've found, especially in the cases like this that we've covered. And we may not always know the intention. If you're talking about this particular family, this is a family that is involved in business. The extent of that business or their financial means, we're not really clear on that at this point. But whether right now, police are not ruling anything out. So they are looking at those options. Is it motivated by business interests? Is it motivated by competition? Was there a feud? Is it really just about money? Because what's unusual here is the amount of money, as you rightfully said. That's a lot of money. That's more than 11 million rand, and it's not the type of money that the average person has. But what we also know is that in some of these cases, these amounts start really high, and then they are whittled down, and sometimes to next to nothing, just in the hopes that those that have taken the person get something. So these are some of the, some of the information that needs to be explored in court. Right now, the case is certainly not complete. The people that are in custody, that's only one part of the puzzle. What needs to be found now is who orchestrated it and why. And I think that will come out as this investigation proceeds. Those that have been arrested, they will be in court on Wednesday, and that will be their first appearance.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. We know that often these kidnappers are linked to syndicates, very often syndicates not even in this country. And I think you mentioned there was one mention that there was a phone call from a foreign number. But certainly something to celebrate that 17-year-old Mateen Khalid is home safe with his family tonight. That poor kid and his family. He's in matric, just imagine. He's probably going to be sitting for his June exams quite soon. And he must be relieved, but I would imagine still pretty shaken up by what he went through. But thank you so much for bringing us all those details. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah.